My first reaction to the news of my mother's death was laughter. It was a strange laughter, it didn't sound like mine. That would be the birth of a journey of confused emotions. Grief is tricky. You never know grief until it creeps in, unpacks a hurricane in your chest, a storm in your heart, steals your voice and leaves you scrambling for words to name the turbulence happening inside of you. What do you do with grief? What do you do with a heart carrying the weight of a mountain? What do you do when your biggest fears take flesh? What do you do with a sea of memories? You see, I believe that grave sites are wrong addresses, funeral brochures too, that they are not the places to post flowers, to tell people what they mean to us. I believe we do not have to wait until the ears are dead ends, the heart too cold to leap in joy, or when the mouth has forgotten the road back to gratitude, to do the things we have to do, to say the things we have to say. I know that this affair with procrastination, living for tomorrow what we can do today, has broken more hearts than death. Luckily enough, this is not our story. Beyond the pain, this is also a story of flowers that were given and smelled fresh, thank yous that were offered and received, beautiful moments that were shared and cherished. Our mom was, no. Our mom used to be, no. Mom, this is difficult. Speaking about you in the past tense is an exercise in PS and pain. I remember the tender years in them, the warmth from your heart which filled all corners of our home, the sound of your laughter, the ideal mother you were, the incredible love story you never stopped writing with the man who stole your heart, and your giant zeal for God's house. You were there, in our peaks and valleys, through the cheers and the tears. You loved us in the silence of joys, in the eloquence of pains, in your willingness to suffer with and for us, in your readiness to be present, to stay present in the shadow of our fears. Never stopped baptizing us in the waters of your courage and faith. Your faith was not just yours. You and Dad shared your love for God with us. Like Hannah, you returned your Samuels to their source, poured God's laws into our hearts. I remember when the tides turned for you, the inauguration of your journey of agony, how like a criminal you were placed before a firing squad of sicknesses who fired your body from every side, made mockery of our efforts to bring you back to whole. It was a show of loss. It was your eyes first, then your arms, then your legs. Like a magic act, your health kept evaporating until it became a shadow of yourself. For 7 years and more, you walked the road to Calvary, carrying the heavy cross of afflictions. 2 times you surrendered the weight of your cross, 2 times you came back. Then you fell a 3rd time and did not return. While your storm of pain raged, in the tight grip of suffering, your heart was untouched. Still brimming over with love and kindness, you still cared for the burden of others, never stopped asking after your sick friends, insisting that visits them. You were a gift that never stopped giving. Your hands, like your heart, were always open to anyone who had a need. Through your sojourn here, you were true to your names. Fidelia, faithful to God. Ngozi, a blessing to us. Nem, your absence is like the sky, spread over everything. Everything that was yours has now become a trigger of memories, a deep fountain of wishes and pain. You live on inside us, in the light and gifts you gave to us, in the sweet fragrance of your kind deeds, in the love you planted wherever you went. Here is our plan: to remember you with more love than pain, to keep your heart beating here, to turn our grief into seeds of action by filling the echo of your absence with the things you loved to do. Loving God, spreading kindness, and healing the world around us. You live with God now, don't you? But if it happens you are not home yet, we implore God, in whose presence you lived, suffered, and died, to bring you home, to accept the sacrifice of your life, cleanse you in the deep waters of His mercy, and transform your earthly pains into eternal gains. As our tears pour today, our hearts draw comfort from the knowledge that you loved God here. The grace we had to give you your flowers while you were still here, and the hope that a merciful God never abandons His own, because His name is truly mercy. These are the foundations of our consolation. Fidelia Ngozi Okwudinka, jee nke ọma. Queen nwanyị ọma, ka emesịa. We are coming. Anyị na-abịa. Live forever.